three of us are together.
We are so happy to be here. We are on a date tonight. Hi,
Date
Danny
night,
Bear.
date night.
Date. And I don't. Well, we'll talk about after the show. I was going to show Diana if she could see if she could stream, but we can't figure it out from her iPad. So anyway, but tonight I have Aley
Yeah.
and Alice, and Diana's back with us, and we're just going to hang out and talk about some things that are coming up in the world.
Yeah.
You want to start, Aley? Hi, Kim.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here with you gals, always.
Yes, I love it.
I just wrote to my daughter, my son, and my friend in New Hampshire, and I wanted to give them the heads up of something that I read in the, I don't know, not the newspaper, but I guess it was from the Seattle Times. So I feel fairly good about it. But hi, everybody. But and then I pulled some cards on it. So I told my people that I had heard, and then I found later 2 articles. One of them is that the Port of Seattle has 1 container ship there that's leaving, and they have no container ships coming in. None planned, no container ships. And the truckers are also not trucking. They're not on the roads like they usually are. Yeah. And I saw the Port of San Diego had the same issue. And then Val said the one in Oregon, is that the one in Portland? They have
Portland,
there's 1 more coming in on the 30th.
Yes.
And then on the East Coast, there's 1 coming in on the 12th. And then there is no more coming in.
No more from China. And I doubt we have other bigger
right, because Canada's not sending stuff anymore either in Mexico.
Mexico's not here.
So then I saw Walmart and Target, which I've been boycotting Target, but Walmart and Target are telling people 2 weeks and their shelves will be bare. And so it's pretty much to me writing on the wall. Get your rice, your beans, your pasta, your coffee, if you like chocolate, get your chocolate. They also said before the shelves are bare, the prices will go up. And
oh yeah,
you know it. Yeah,
they already have.
So I pulled some cards. The first thing I got was, we're going through this transition. And of course, moving stuff. This is moving a house. But the second card I got was severance. And look, it's a boat. It's a container ship, as far as I'm concerned. And then I get, we need to craft a way to take care of ourselves, because there will be lack. And these just came pouring out.
Right.
So I wrote my daughter, and she wrote me right back, actually. And she said, we're fully stocked, so stocked, there's no room for stuff in our laundry room or storage area, and my freezer's full. She made sure of it. So I'm not saying this for fear or any other reason. I'm just saying, if you know what you need to do, then you need to do it, and then you prepare to do it. And I'm guessing that we may even have a toilet paper and a paper towel or tissue shortage as well. It is scary, but we kind of knew it was coming. Actually, they've known it now for 3 or 4 weeks, and the media is not really covering it.
Nope. And the CEOs of Lowe's and Home Depot went to meet with the dictator and to tell him the shelves are about to be empty. And I never heard, if anything, you don't get, like Valerie said, we don't get anything from the media.
He had to go to Rome to take a nap.
Right. Take a nap and snore and fart. In a blue suit. Yeah.
God,
well,
yeah.
We all knew this was coming. That's
true. But it's coming faster than I think we thought it would. But Diana, what do you got for cards?
I first pulled from the same deck Aley did, and I got the craft card. Right. Now, then I went to the brownies deck, and I got industry.
Oh, yeah.
But look, we're working for ourselves, right? Because industry.
This is going to hurt small business.
Industry is a facade.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
It's not real, right? It is not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then interlude. So this is going to be a very difficult interlude. Now, interludes are often thought of as dreamy,
sexy,
right? Yeah. Dreamy and sexy.
Yeah. Not
this is
one.
in the dark, and there's so many people, and they're just all looking at everything going, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what else is going to come out in this? Everybody's inner demons.
Ooh. Yeah, you know it because people are going to be fighting over stuff.
Fighting over this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this doesn't even really need an explanation.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Thin ice.
And, oh my Lord.
Thin ice.
Both of our card pulls are really are right on. They're spot on.
Right?
They
are.
Well,
attainment was the very last card. These two are the rising energies.
Mm-hmm.
It is obvious that we are on thin ice for attainment.
Right. To attain anything. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God. The next card, revolution.
Well, that will happen.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You say you want a revolution.
Well, that's
you know.
That's the Pluto and Aquarius. That's definitely revolutionary, and same with the Uranus. And this is, we're not here to say we told you so. We all knew this was coming. We all knew that it would be bad if you got in, right? Yeah. And Diana and I, we had said for the last 2 years that everything and all those cards they both picked, everything is going to be flipped upside down, because if it's not in integrity and authenticity, it is not raising in frequency with us. So it sucks that I have to say it like that, but that is part of what's going on. Now, I feel that we're going to be protected, but Aley, you're right. I had my son go out today, stock up on some things. That's all we can do right now. I mean, we don't have any idea if we're going to have a job, if you're going to have your Social Security.
Right.
We don't know. But I think we know this, despite the differences and the division of the American people, we do come together when it gets tough.
We do. You have to align ourselves with others. I mean, it could be that we align ourselves if the food thing goes south, you make a soup and you share it with your neighbors or whatever it is, and you find a way of coming together. But it's the thing that disturbs me is, of course, you can't say anything, or the media is afraid to say anything to anybody because they worry about retribution. And now we've got judges that are being put in jail and other. For how long? I don't know, Annie. I really don't.
I don't know either. And then we got, everybody's asking how long. Heavenly Blessed Honey is asking how long. I just had a dream about him with him in it. Oh, tell us about that.
I got 5 months out of this.
5 months?
Months.
Oh, 5 months. Did you do this? Okay. Yep. Above 5 months. And what would that be? May, June, July, August, September, October. So by in the fall. Okay. All right.
Just as they start revving up.
I keep getting July. August.
July.
I was getting July. Okay, because let's back up for a second. Today is a new moon in Taurus, super new moon. But yesterday it was exact, but we're still in it. We have a T-square with Mars, Pluto, and Black Moon Lilith. She is about, and Eris is involved too on the other side right now. Well, Diana.
Yeah.
These are significant, like a T-square with all now, and Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio. Mars and Pluto are both co-rulers of Scorpio. Something big is about to pop off. I can feel it. I think a lot of us can feel it, but I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to play out. And believe me, I ask and I investigate this pretty much every day, which I think we all do, right?
Yep.
What do you
Well,
get, Aley?
All three of those.
It seems like that's right. But what they said was the Walmart CEOs that were saying the shelves might not have anything on them in 2 weeks. They're saying this is going to make that those COVID things look like nothing. Like, when we couldn't find toilet paper or whatever, it's going to make it look. Remember, they had big signs that were like, "We're out of this" or "We're out of that." But the problem is that was just stock supply, and this is stuff that's coming that we depend upon from other countries.
Basics, just the basics to run the nation, right? And as I think you said something really good there, where it's just like COVID, but during COVID, they banked. All these corporations, all these companies banked off of us. They made so much money. They raised the prices. They raised the prices of everything. I mean, rent is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous, right? So that has to come to be, I think we all know it, but it's like, that's how the planets work, especially the Pluto, Scorpio, Mars, that type of stuff. It's got to come in your face in a harsh way. So you do something about it, I'm just guessing though. Here I am, because that's all.
Well, and me too. But when I see that the ports aren't having any ships come in, and there's no container ships in the ports, then I say to myself, what more evidence do we need?
Exactly.
It's evidence. It really is.
Yeah. And the trucking. Sorry.
That's, I really believe in that 5 months, because they still got to get it on a boat and an agreement and here. And it's a slow boat coming across that ocean. It's not like it's being airdropped in a bomber.
Well, even though he stopped tariffing some things, which he did, it was already in motion.
It's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late.
Oh, wow. Well, there is something to be said about the fact that we got the summer coming, and we have a lot of solar storms, and they may affect the electrical grid. And again, I'm not talking about it being fearful, but it's important to mention it, so we're aware.
I think the utilities are prepared.
Good.
Simply because I had we had a gas explosion. They were doing some digging for a new foundation for something, and a steam shovel hit a gas line, and it knocked everybody out. Middle of Christmas. No, Christmas. It was December 15th, because I was just getting ready to decorate the tree, and there was no heat. So, because I'm gas, there was no heat. And then it was discovered when it went back on, that was 3 days later, that there was a leak outside at my meter. And so the gas company repaired that. And then they came back to dig up the line and replace the whole line and everything. But they hooked it up to the same damn old meter.
That's silly. Oh my goodness.
Well,
really?
Yesterday, surprise, surprise, they showed up at my house and said, "We're going to put a new meter on your house today."
Okay.
And I noticed that he said, "And we're doing it all through this neighborhood, so you're going to be seeing us." Well, there's only 14 houses here, so I won't be seeing him for very long, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's just taken them 5 years to get here.
Okay, so this goes with the trucking, with the shipping, with the infrastructure. Everything in America is on its last leg, so to speak. The bridges, the roads, we're
trying to fix it with Pete Buttigieg and President Biden. We're trying to fix all that.
Right. And they don't see that. And Trump just took it all away. He took the food bank food away from the USDA. No food banks are receiving their shipments. None.
And no kids are getting their school funding. The Meals on Wheels is disappearing.
Yep, that was today. And you know what that means? He wants to starve us out. He wants us to be angry and to fight over the crumbs, basically.
Yeah.
Don't, you know, now,
Yeah.
Annie, maybe we'll read on that in a minute. I wanted to see what Leah wrote here. She put the state of Illinois put a 15% cap on rent in a blue state. Thank goodness. Yes. Annie, buy seeds.
Yeah. Seeds. Yep. Good idea. Dream at 5 a.m. that it was going to happen. It would stop everything for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
Something is,
Yeah. I get it, Mary. I mean, I'm hoping that this will wake people up because nothing else is. And I don't mean you guys. I'm talking to the choir here. Yeah.
It's just it blows my mind that we had to do it this way, the hard way. I guess I was hoping Kamala would come in, things would be easier, we'd rebuild like that, but here we are. And how many people have lost their jobs, especially government jobs? How many? I just saw yesterday where Las Vegas was laying everybody off. There's no business in Las Vegas. There's no tourism. No.
Right.
No, that's right, Gina's place. It's time the corporations aren't going to make money and we're out of supplies, or will be. Maybe this is the universe sending accountability and responsibility. I love that. It's sad, but it's what has to happen. It's let's see, he abandoned me after we went somewhere, and after I told him, Donald, I see a couple of different colors. His chest area, like if you see a plasma white kinda and a red around his heart. He didn't speak, but
health matter is and we can tell by looking at him.
Yeah.
He's
sleeping at a funeral.
And not only that, but I saw Mitch McConnell talking the other day. His whole hand was bruised. It was black. He's not doing well either.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's deteriorating. I just heard from the inside out. I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned about water in several. I am too, Leah, because he's taken all the protections off of things, right, Aley? Deregulating everything.
Yeah.
Not checking the food, not checking the meat, not checking the chicken. I'm sure the water.
They're not putting any fluoride in the water or doing any water testing in some places.
Yeah, see, I boil all my water anyway because of where I live on the East Coast, and it's very.
And I have well water and I boil it.
Do you?
I just buy water, but if I had to have water, I would boil it that way as well. I would. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's in it or what Ford and GM dumped in it 60 years ago. That ain't going nowhere if it's paint. Just ask the Jersey Indians on the reservation in New Jersey, upstate Jersey.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I just lost my place. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's going to hit every aspect of our lives. Everything that keeps America propped up. And it is just propped up. We were already teetering. And if it wasn't for Biden the last 4 years after Trump was, I believe he's trying to destroy America. I believe that was his intent when he was here the last time. And it didn't work because Biden came in and they worked together and they pulled us back up. But I mean, I heard that, then I heard this, the ICC was investigating, and this is in the Spanish countries. It was just a little clip. They are, because what's it called when you abuse prisoners?
It's against the Geneva Convention. Yeah, it's against the Geneva.
And we're sending, or not we, but he's sending these people there so that whether or not we're involved with the ICC, they can come after us for war crimes or whatever.
Okay, because we usually can't be touched, but that probably is true.
This is nuts.
Why does he want to do this?
I don't.
This is just
He
It
wants
is,
the
to me,
military is what I get. He wants the military so him and the rest of the dictators can take the world.
Take
But
over
they're
the
not.
world. Get rid of the
I-
people they don't want. Mhm.
I just can't buy the fact that this is because he's here to show us the loops.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. I don't know what to believe though. It's like,
I know.
okay,
I know.
why would we
That's
have
true.
to suffer all the work that light workers, love workers, energy workers have been doing since
Mhm.
before 2012? Why would we have to deal with this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
or on this timeline. If there's different timelines, why are we on this timeline?
Yeah,
I
let's get
don't-
out of here.
Yeah.
I just want to say Mary Thornberry said she watches a guy from Florida, and he said last year 14% of people bought groceries on buy now, pay later. And this year it's 28% groceries on
Already.
credit
Buy now, pay later. Oh my God.
for groceries.
Oh my
And
God.
using a credit card. And I know that probably some people are paying with a credit card for their mortgage or their loans or their car payment. You never know. You just never know.
Yes,
But
Sterling didn't seem very like he kept saying, yeah, he was going to do these things, but he never, unless I missed it, gave an end date to when Trump would be reined in. I'm just going to call him the
didn't he
dictator.
say within a month that he'd be tried for treason on the show? I thought he did. Somebody said that he said that
Oh,
today.
did he say that?
Today, I think. Yeah.
Who said that? I missed.
Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah.
If anyone knows that answer, please let
Yeah,
us
if you've
know.
seen Sterling today, let us know, please, because I
Mhm.
heard that from somebody. So,
The food banks
wow.
have local hookups. Oh, I didn't know this. And will survive. I want to go find some food banks and do something for food.
Well,
Food is-
I was saying to Amanda, I believe that food banks in the blue states will do that, but I'm not sure that we'll see that in red states. And
yeah, and those are the volatile people, right? They don't even know how pissed they're about to get because they don't like the woke agenda. Well, now they're going to see why the woke agenda was doing something for them. They're going to be really pissed. But those ones that don't understand that, I mean, they're going to become violent.
well, they're already showing up at these town halls that the congressional and senatorial people won't go to in those states because they're afraid of their constituents, because their people won't stand up. And I'm already liking that part of it, that they're at least they're standing up now. Yeah.
I know I'm a little slow over here. I'm trying to get through. Did anyone know about the Sterling? If he
Did
said
Sterling say on his show that he was going to be tried for treason within a month? Because that's today. Okay, Lauren, Sterling said he would be removed for treason on Linda G's channel. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
cool,
that's what I thought.
Cool. Okay, so here, congratulations, Heavenly Bless Honey Sonia is a grandma.
Yes,
Hey,
I know. Isn't that great?
I like what Lauren said here. He is not going to remain president for very long to have all of these plans work. I believe this is all of my heart and soul.
Yeah, I do too.
This part especially, bringing in the Hague and Jack Smith.
If we can. The problem is that we are a part of the international what do you call it? ICC.
Yeah.
And as a part of it, we usually don't get brought in. And I don't know how that works. But if it's true what Valerie said, then maybe it's because of El Salvador that we can come in the back door.
Well, because he's a traitor.
Yeah, it's all the other countries around there that they've taken their people and put them in that El Salvador place. So it was like 3 other South American countries.
Right. Venezuela and a few others.
But what gets me is, and I know we could sit here and I could ask this to him blue in the face. For 4 years, he said what he was going to do. We had the evidence on him. We could have done something, and here we are. I know. And I honestly look at the Dems because really, who's talking? There's a few, Senator Whitehouse, there's Bernie, there's AOC, but everybody else just seems like they sold out. Now, Cory Booker and the other gentleman were on the Capitol steps.
On the
this
Capitol
morning.
steps. Hakeem
Yeah.
Jeffries, I think. Yeah.
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 So, I mean, they're trying, but if things could get done this fast, if you could dismantle things this fast, why have we been standing here going, oh, it's because we don't have enough votes from the Republicans or the vice versa?
It's like la 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 la.
Right? Like, what in the hell have we been doing since
know.
Reagan? We've been going steadily down, steadily down. So this is again what Diana and I were speaking about last couple of years. This is the point where it all just, and we will rebuild, and we will, it'll be in a higher frequency, higher consciousness way. But until then, we're in this muck.
We are.
Go ahead, Diana.
Well,
So we do have to, think about love. I'm sorry, Diana. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. When Pluto goes retrograde, this is
what happens.
This is where everybody's going to be going.
Oh my! Oh, that's a good point.
Because he's going retrograde.
Those people were right.
He's not going to go back into Capricorn, but he goes retrograde at 4.5 degrees, something like that.
And not
so it's not too much longer. What you said the date earlier today?
The 4th, May 4th.
May 4th.
All right. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. Where is he's already slow, and he's slowed down now.
So I don't know if you heard this, but the international news, and Lori's right, the international news knows everything that we don't get.
Yes.
But the international news reported yesterday that 2 German / Russian spies were picked up in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And they both had Pete H. phone number on their phone.
Oh, whoa, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got not only treason from the top, but we've got it dripping all the way.
Yeah.
And Bondi, what she's been saying, that anybody who speaks out will get arrested and deported and all of that stuff. Yeah. So
yeah, I love when I hear things like that, and we're talking and stuff like she just heard the walls come.
That's right. All the way to hell.
Walls. Come tumbling, 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 tumbling down. You bet.
And it's just, oh damn.
So Leah, your left ear is the feminine side, the receiving side. Mm-hmm. Your right ear is the masculine side, the delivery side.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah.
So when you get it in your right ear, that's something from your father's side, your grandmother on your father's side.
And the physical as well. Physical side. Yeah. Yeah. This is spiritual side.
Right.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right, Lauren. Executive orders are nothing but SHIT.
I know.
They have to be done by Congress, but he wants to eliminate the judges and Congress from all decision making.
Right. Yeah. And but I mean, everything that Elon Musk did when he went in there and they fired all these people and they went into the Social Security. I mean, how could they do that without anything but his work, him saying it's okay?
I know. And they said that Doge is taking all of the information from all the various and sundry places and putting it into one computer that will find people and get rid of them. Where they live, what was it? You don't need a court order anymore to break down a door.
But that's not true. And they're saying they state it like it's true in our media.
Yep.
And they're lying. And now they've got everybody stressed out, right? We all have PTSD from this fool anyway, from 2015. And we're got to go through it again. I am so just like, why? I mean, come on. And yes, I do believe in a lot of respects, the government does need restructured, but I mean, this is This is
a demolition.
yeah.
is what-
Thank you. This is-
Intentionally.
yeah,
This whole, let's starve them out again
yeah.
and then put them in what? Concentration camps?
Yeah.
The gulag?
I mean, I can't even believe that that we're saying these things are going on. And they just took a 2-year-old to Honduras, and they took a 4-year-old that had cancer, stage 4 cancer out, and they were both born here.
American citizens. Yes.
Oh my!
I don't have all of my decks down here, but I can't find a single deck that is bad enough to bring down him with.
Well, I got here. This is the ones I had pulled. Future Time, a health matter with a surprise attack. And I don't know if it's a surprise heart attack.
You just reminded me. I read yesterday and I had similar cards. What deck did I use?
What is Gina's place saying here? I'm not understanding. I thought the presidential directives bypass Congress and executive orders go through Congress. Okay.
They do. They're supposed to, Gina.
So
absolutely.
What's the directive? Has he, I guess that's what he's doing?
But I don't think he's doing directives. I think he was doing executive orders. And people are just assuming, well, what they're doing is what we're being told not to do. Don't just agree. Don't just go along with things because it was said. It's like if you get if somebody's at the door knocking at the door for you, that's why they're busting in now. They can't do that, but they're going to say they can. No. And did you see the guy with the axe hammering on somebody's car? Do you know that he was a militia person? He wasn't even ICE.
And how many of these guys are that? They're not even
I know,
because they don't, ICE gets training. They got some level of compassion and understanding of the law.
Right.
But these guys are all white supremacists or militias.
That's what he was. That's why I let him out. That's why I let those folks out. Yeah.
Here's the big question, ladies. Read on this one.
Okay.
The military follows the Constitution. Now, if it comes to it, will the military follow the Constitution or this idiot?
Hmm.
Now, what do you? Okay, see, I can't do that with my finger.
It ain't budging.
My finger's stuck.
I'm going to say they're going to follow the Constitution, but let me.
I got trains and transport, though. I'm wondering if they're going to. Well, we already know that trains were over in Germany, and now we've got planes that are the transport.
Right.
And there's actually a plane company in Connecticut that has contracted with the government to be that delivery guy, and the Connecticut people that know about it are now boycotting the airline, but it's a small local airline. But I get here replace and exchange, and then I get banking currency. It's all about the bucks, making money off everything.
But they're going to lose money. This is what I don't get.
They've already lost a whole bunch.
I know.
Yeah.
I got the Chariot. There's your transportation.
Yes. Yeah.
And I also got the Page of Pentacles.
Oh.
So, if we look at these pentacles, not money, but grounding.
Yeah.
Those planes are going to be grounded.
Well, you heard, though, that they moved those plane trips from ICE to the Department of Defense so they could still do the work. They did that on, end of the week. Yeah, end of last week.
I got 9 of Wands was the last card I pulled.
Wow.
I don't know. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Here's the brownie card that says clearing.
Huh? Okay.
Oh, that, you think of that one, that could certainly be clearing people out.
Totally feel Biden implemented some serious things we have yet to know of.
That's very possible. Yeah.
I feel like it just is what it's like 100 days, and it's like there's nothing happening, but he's dismantling everything. Like no one except a handful are speaking up against it.
Well, we had been told, everybody, that it was all up to us, that there was nobody coming here to save us except ourselves. And so I am hearkened by these different protests, and there's another big one on May 1st. It's a Thursday. People are going to be leaving their jobs to go to it.
The other day, remember when we had
Thursday?
Yeah.
Remember when we had the protests a week ago, right? Whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So there was none going on around me, and I certainly wasn't about to try to drive to Flint and with, just with the way I feel physically. But I rode through Fenton, and there was one woman standing at the post office with a sign and a chair. And she'd get tired of standing and she'd sit back down, and everybody was blowing horns as they went past her.
Okay.
Nobody joined her because it was a nasty, cold, raining day. And had I not had the dogs in the car, I would have stood with her for a couple of minutes anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And here, Keith had his picture taken in a wheelchair, and there were people with walkers all around him and canes, and the older people are doing it. So here's what I get on that question. I get a culmination. So it will culminate, and we all will then be able to rest easier, because it will be a surprise. And I've heard more than once that a surprise was going to be happening.
I feel that. I feel something that none of us are expecting out of the blue. But how long we've been feeling that, Diana?
I know.
Goodness, we'd read
right forever.
Libby said, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just to add to what Aley's got here. I got precaution. So proceed with precaution.
Yeah.
It's inspiration. We're going to be moving out of this. There's plenty coming our way, but for right now, remain in control.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So I did watch Dave Johnson the other day, and he was channeling a Native American spirit. Dave says something is going to happen, and it's never happened before. It will be like, it's kind of has the energy of what we felt like after 9/11, when we kept watching the tower fall, and over we couldn't get enough of, you know what I mean? We kept going, we can't believe what we see. And then somebody else mentioned that they had felt some kind of energy either in New York or Washington, and I'm not sure if it's my Washington or DC Washington, but something that, is it the ETs? Is it, who knows? What is it? We just can't even. He said he's not going to scare anybody by saying what he saw or whatever, which is fine. But
I saw it, and I was like, man, because I feel that, I sense that, but I don't get a visual on what it is, and it is, and I get the feeling it is a surprise, and this is going to flip everything into the right direction. But it may not look like that at first. That's the only thing. And as we go forward, right? They're saying it's because that frequency has got to drop low, and then it shoots back up. It's all about the frequency.
Okay.
And once we shoot back up, that's where we stabilize in that.
And become more elevated. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And when I was with Diana and I just a little bit ago, I kept getting for the last few days about our nervous system is being enhanced to sustain by light codes and stuff like that. Like we are our bodies are being, and we're in the new moon in Taurus, so they kept bringing in Taurus in the body and saying our bodies were becoming stronger and more able to handle all of this, distorted energy, because it's been going on for so long.
We're
My God.
exhausted. We're just exhausted. There's so much PTSD that.
Right. But they said, look how you have adapted.
Yeah.
How we have got, slowly but surely, but whatever this thing is going to like that. I just see it real fast, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. He's issuing executive orders as presidential directives.
Yes.
And that will violate our constitutional law, I believe. So SCOTUS review, maybe. I mean,
I don't trust them. The fact the two, Alito and Thomas, they didn't even go along with the other judges on something else that was ridiculous. It was
Last week.
Yeah.
Oh, really, Lauren? Oh,
I knew that. I remember hearing about that she saw military men walking into the White House.
Oh,
well, she saw that years ago with the first go around. So I mean, I'm not saying what I'm saying is it's just what she saw then is for this.
Leah, this is so true. I wish we could all put our money together and buy land and just staying off the land, and all of us just support each other. I mean, that would, to me, it would just be beautiful, because this is kind of, I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but do you have a lot of people around you that are supporting your view on things? I mean, I know Keith does. I know Diana.
I got my kids, and I just keep trying to tell them we need a plan. I mean, I met with them a couple of weeks ago, and I said, we need a word, we need a place, we need a plan. And they kind of look at me like, yeah, Mom, this is, but really, I just think it's so important for us to I remember doing that during COVID, and I remember doing that because of what if we had an earthquake here? What would you do? It's just everybody needs a plan for whatever it is, Right. And how about you? Well, you're with your boys, so you could probably go up to your sons, right?
And the son I live with here, he kept saying to me before the election, because he saw how I was getting, I was feeling. And he's like, why don't you just leave the country? I'll pay for you to leave the country. Where do you want to go? But see, that I would have never, I can't do that, and so what am I going to do? And then the morning of, or the night he was elected, immediately, nothing, no recount, no nothing. And I woke up at 2:30, texted Diane, and we were just devastated. I was crying for days.
Well, I didn't realize there were 17 million votes thrown away, something like that.
What?
I didn't. Oh, yeah. If you watch the video of Georgia, they disenfranchised almost a whole bunch of African-American people, and they have a law that you can throw out if somebody has a gripe, like, well, I don't like you, Valerie, so I'm gonna tell them to throw your vote out. That's all they need to do. And there were others that were thrown out in other parts of the country. So she won by like 17,000 more votes. But where's the proof? And of course, I don't know why we didn't, like you say, why didn't we recount? Why didn't we push the issue?
And we knew that they were gerrymandering and they were messing with the voting. And why wasn't the government the last 4 years fighting harder for our right to vote? But instead, women they don't get a choice anymore. I mean, how did we get here?
He views this harassment, right?
Yeah.
We are all
no one in the world has ever harassed a president like they harass him.
Oh, yeah. But in reality, it's him.
Yes.
Who thinks it's a contest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what does this bring us right back to? Oh my gosh, the facade. Back to the facade.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then there's this card, the little The
Yeah.
9 of Wands, that represents
Mhm.
us, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I asked about the military, would the military follow the Constitution, I got justice. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Oh,
so
good. Yeah.
that's good.
A lot of the
Um,
military are losing things, their
Yeah.
veterans benefits and all that. So they should stand up for
Oh,
the
they're going to
Constitution.
they're already angry about that.
I mean, I don't think he has any friends anywhere except for the people who want Agenda 2025. Those guys who wrote that, and his little gang of hoodlums, they're a bunch of hoodlums in, in the
Of course
White
they
House.
are. Of course they are.
And
And he's just the figurehead. He's
Yeah.
just the one, they give him stuff to sign. He doesn't even read it.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Mhm.
He
And
doesn't
then,
know how to read.
yeah, that's what my son said to me. I was trying to explain to my son,
Yeah.
Hitler, he idolizes Hitler. I said, that's his favorite book. He goes, you're not telling me that man reads. It's like,
No, but he has it on his bedside, so.
yeah, that's what I tried to explain
Yeah.
it. But you
Yeah.
know,
Well, yeah, because somebody told him as long as you have it under your pillow, you can absorb it.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Mary, I think you're right. She said, I think they knew of very awful things to happen if Trump did not win. It would have been January 6th and worse.
Right.
And I agree with you 100% because they were ready. They were at the ready to do whatever they needed to do for him to win. Yeah.
Oh,
The natural
there's-
world is speaking. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just going to,
Okay, I'm gonna get us back down
Mary,
here.
I think you're onto something for sure because I have gotten
Mhm.
imagination, and I don't think this is in reference to yours, but rather what
Mhm.
that whole contest of harassment is about.
Mhm.
And then the bottom card is, drive.
And he's golfing.
And he's all
Oh
dressed
my
to run.
gosh.
And
Oh
then
my God.
Oh my gosh.
this is about ascension.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
We.
No,
It
Yeah.
really is.
right?
really,
This is
really
not
is.
for him. This is us.
Right. For the rest of us. Yeah. Well, he had said the other day that he wants to be able to deport people without due process
I
because
know.
it would take too long for millions of people to have a trial. And we just need to move on and get rid of these people. And that's exactly the
And this
Nazi
is
agenda.
this is the man who has before he was elected in 2015, he had over 4,000 court cases. You see how he takes everyone to court, or they take him to court, and yet he doesn't want to waste that. You don't get any court time, only people like me, right? Oh my God, I really don't think I could dislike someone anymore, but
Any more than this?
I don't
Well,
even.
and as always, it's about confusion. Just
Oh,
as
yeah.
much
Chaos.
confusion as you can.
Yeah. Chaos and confusion.
Yeah. Jen B says, I feel like those of us who have prepared with water and food and such, please keep it under your hat.
Yeah.
Others will remember your post about this or that and come to you when shit hits the fan.
That's right, because they know where to go to get it. So I also actually, during the pandemic, I did something so totally out of my belief system that you would never imagine I would do. And I would never imagine I would do. And I actually bought a gun. And it's not a big gun. It's not, and I hate them. I hate them. But I felt at the time that I needed to protect myself if people came and tried to take things away. And so, I don't think I've even looked at it since I bought it. It's been here for 5 or 6 years. It's put away somewhere. But at least I have something. Whether I use it or not doesn't matter. But boy, oh boy, I tell you, that was the hardest thing I ever came to. And my son did it and my daughter did it. And it was then.
No.
Yeah.
Just in case you get hungry through this next stretch, you could go get a squirrel.
That's true. We have a lot of elk that roam the area. Yeah, but I.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
How
22
cool.
is going to take down an elk.
How cool is that though? Elk in the area. Well, though, that is one of the things to care for ourselves. You're caring for your safety and security. And this, again, the new moon in Taurus, that's all about safety and security.
Ah.
And comfort, do I have food? Do I have water? Like all the things we're talking about,
Oh,
right?
it makes sense. No wonder
Yeah.
this needed to be talked about.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
didn't know
didn't
it was in
connect.
the sky as well. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I didn't connect it either till right this second. But
Okay.
how cool is that, right? That
Yeah.
it is, and that was that safety and security is definitely about our nervous system, because when your nervous system's out of whack, you don't feel safe and secure, you
Oh,
know?
no.
And
Mhm.
we got to strengthen each other now. That I know that there's going to be local things that you can do to help. And I'm going to look for something like that around here.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like my son said, I don't know if I have my job next week. I don't know. I don't know.
No, we all don't really.
You
Yeah.
know, okay, so
Yeah.
I just drew some cards on all of while you were talking on this,
Mhm.
right?
Uh-huh.
So here's what we look at. We look at this perversity.
Ah,
Mhm.
That is really what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But we need to keep focused that perversity also comes in cycles,
Uh-huh.
mm,
Okay. There you go.
and that our brownies
Uh-huh.
promise us this:
Mhm. Yep.
a
Yep.
better vacation,
mm,
right? And we're going to get
Yep.
rid of that elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Shelter.
Mhm. Yeah. Find
It's
good
coming.
shelter. Yeah.
Shelter from our burdens.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow.
oh, thank
So,
goodness. I can't wait. I
you
can't
know,
wait.
if we
Mhm.
have to isolate again, we still have each other.
We do. Because
Yeah,
that's the reason why we got together in the first place, honestly.
right.
Right.
Actually, I have to tell you that for the most part, I'm only home. I might drive my car about twice a month. I don't
Me-
go anywhere. I
I
don't
don't
do
go anywhere
yeah,
either.
yeah. And yeah,
Yeah, I do
it
that
just
a
is the way
little
it
bit
is.
more than that, but I don't go anywhere but to the lake and back to the house or the
Yeah,
grocery
yeah,
store.
yeah, yeah.
Hi, Angela. Angela, and
Yes, I know. Cartomancy's here. Thank you, Angela.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
Yeah.
talking about doing a show about how to prepare.
Good,
She's
good.
still healing, so whenever
Yeah.
she's ready, we'll do it. But her and I did a show way back when I first started my channel. It was all about. There was a series about preparing, because that's when COVID hit. So if anybody wants to, it's pretty much the same information, but I don't know, like, how I don't know how you prepare for this. I mean, this
Yeah.
wasn't in my bingo card, or however you say this. I never saw this coming.
Well,
Right, right.
I saw something bad coming, but I didn't see this
Yeah.
total
I-
wipeout.
I think this is what Annie is explaining right there in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We didn't see this coming.
right.
Right.
So now, just as we are being offered protection, we got to get back in touch with the elementals. We've got to get back
Right.
to the land, right? And set our
Yeah,
soul free.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
Mhm.
in doing that, this is that
Absolutely.
can't remember which aspect we were talking about, but it is the Vesta. It is the Grand Cross that was including Vesta in
Mhm.
the Grand Trine with the Pluto and Mars. And
Mhm.
that Vesta is
Ooh,
your heart. It's your
Yeah.
hearth, your home, your homeland, your mind. And
Yeah.
your mind and your heart must be connected. So
absolutely.
we have to get back to that our
Yeah.
own way of creating shelter.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not walking with your head down, it's making eye contact.
Absolutely. Oh, I learned that in karate. You don't look weak. You
Right.
can't look weak.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
That's what dogs do in order
Yes.
to avoid the confrontation.
That's right. Yep.
And it's not about confrontation. It's
No.
about saying, I have nothing to do.
Assuredness. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And that is it's so important to maintain, right, your inner strength and your inner fortitude and the endurance. I mean, just the endurance and what we've had to put up with since 2015. I mean, we could just, it's just but at the same time, look how much stronger we are because of,
It's true.
you know,
It is.
Well,
Yeah.
and
We have
I-
all the gray
I
hairs to prove it.
right.
if we run out of lettuce, everybody's still talking about growing food. Absolutely, if you can,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got more dandelions than anybody. I had my brother came up today and mowed the lawn for me, but
Mhm.
I still wanted to pull a couple more batches of dandelion to make salve with. And
Mhm.
all he had to do was leave the plot that's outside my front door. I got at least 4
Yeah.
batches, 5 batches, maybe even
Sure.
6 batches just out
Sure.
of that. So
Yeah.
you can eat dandelion leaves. You can pull the roots and you
Absolutely.
can roast them and make tea. And it's good
Mhm.
for you, tea, because it's a diuretic and it's
Uh-huh.
filled with vitamin A
All
and,
vitamins. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
E.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you know, and there's all heal, there's clover, there's, especially if your lawn isn't treated, there's, you can go eat the grass. Cows do. Have you ever seen any of them kill over from
I
eating
know.
grass?
I know. Yep.
That is
Oh,
crazy,
yeah.
Debbie. That is so
But
crazy.
she's in Texas. Debbie, I
Uh-huh.
believe Debbie's in Texas. There's a lot
Yeah,
of.
but she's right. Like you could drink all day long and you could buy a
Yeah.
gun, but God
Yep.
forbid you
Yep.
smoke weed or
I know.
whatever.
Right. Dandelion wine.
I love this that Lauren said. She said, when Linda G and others said to stock up, we did. I asked my guides if I should tell other family members, and they told me no. People need to learn lessons.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I told my kids, I told my best friend, and, you know, I'm bringing, you're all my friends. So, but, you know, there are some people I'm not going to say a word to because they would just blame the Democrats anyway.
Yep.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
And like I have a machete, I have stuff in the car, you know, I have stuff if I need it, but I never even feel threatened anymore. I just kind of, but I don't leave the house, like you said, Aley, right? I really don't.
Yeah.
I go to
Yeah.
the grocery
But
store,
somebody could come to the door. And so
Right.
you have to have something. Yeah,
Right.
you have to. Yeah.
And you know, there's stuff, but
Forward.
it is, I don't feel this is going to go for very long. It's going to go long enough. It's the thing that concerns me the most is cut off all the food for kids, the elderly, the poor, the sick, the children, cut off the food banks. I mean, people get vicious.
Meals on
when you get
Wheels,
hungry.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, all of this show of misappropriation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking from the poor to give to
Mm.
the rich is a conveyance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look at that.
And that's what
right?
the Nazis, you know, that's what Germany did. They took
Right.
all the coats and the money and the pictures and they just, I'm going to take that. I'm going to have it on my wall.
Right.
What's a conveyance? I don't understand it. The
A
conveyance.
conveyance, a way to
Yeah.
convey bravery, to pull that bravery out. Again, this man, the Uncle Wiggily, is not backing down
Afraid of
from
the,
alligator.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it you know, I mean, that's just the way to stay positive in
Right.
all of it, is to stand in your own light, right, Annie Bear?
Yep. I
Just
mean,
like we did last night. Shine your light.
yeah. That was excellent. If anyone needs to at least hear the last 15 minutes with Val from Dragonfly Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that was a
That was
beautiful Akashic Records meditation. It was just, I mean, it was so powerful. I've listened to it twice since.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
very strong. She's you know, look how many people in the community help each other. You know, just things like that. Just, I mean, it just helps so much. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Leah, when I had to work in ghettos, I was just broke real person and slid through. Yeah, I know.
She was serving in the south of Chicago, which is a
Yeah.
pretty dangerous place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had that in inner city Pittsburgh. I understand. It might not, but you grow. You grow strength through doing that kind of stuff. Now, I don't wish it on anybody.
No,
but.
Right. Yep.
So this contest that is being put upon us
Mm.
This is a person contesting everything that we stand for, right?
Yeah.
But this contest is about withstanding and being our alliance with each other, keeping
Wow.
it together
Yeah.
and nourishing each other. And look, here we are
Yeah.
growing gardens, which everybody
Yeah.
Ah,
talking about. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this because the beginning of the show, I tried to let people know that the ports weren't getting any more container ships in. Some of them are for China and some of those are closed and things like that. But the food supply and the chain at Walmart and those places say, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So get your resources so you won't be surprised.
Right.
And I really think that's a good way for me to finish with what I wanted to say, which I didn't mean to command it to be your show tonight, but
But you know what, honey?
I love it.
We have got to release this.
Right.
Come on,
yes,
we come on and do astrology, and we're trying to stay upbeat and everything.
right.
But as a community, we also need to let our hair down.
We do.
Have the same, just I say this and my channel still isn't up and running, but we have the same fears as you. We're just trying to buck up, buckle like all of us have to do right now. We got to pull our own boots on ourselves. That's why they put straps on the boots.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one who can do it.
Right. Absolutely. And don't be afraid. Just be determined. Yeah. And get your rest.
Yeah. Get your rest. Don't be afraid to sleep through some of this.
Right.
So,
Right. And isn't that
your
another
best dreams?
and isn't that another thing that we were like for the last 2 years? That I mean, we felt bad because we were repeating ourselves so much. Breathe, take a pause, rest, self-care, self-nurture. But that's still going on. And we we have each other to hang out with. We have each other when things get if they get worse, to come and hang out with each other and walk each other through it, in the best way.
Yeah, this is almost like it's going to be just as hard to fall asleep tonight as it is after the dream show.
Well, just think of the words of Ram Dass, which Terry and I talked about this morning, which was, we're all just walking each other home.
Yeah.
I say it all the time.
I was in the car listening to y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that would, that's so true. We are. That's all we're doing.
That's
but
all
a lot of people aren't doing that, but we do.
Yeah.
We are doing it. Yeah.
It's authentic here. And that's the difference. We have the authenticity. We have the integrity. We are ethical. We are coming from truth. We're coming from our heart. I mean, there's no denying that with anybody here. And that's the world I want to live in. I want to live in a world that most people are just honest and just get, you don't have to question whether they're backstabbing you or talking about you or whatever,
Yeah.
Peace, Mama. That's really good. Hope.
Yes, it is.
Action beats fear. I just heard that from my guides.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Hope plus action beats fear is what she said. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that, Peace Mama. Yeah.
So before we sign off, because it's after we've had our hour, but before we sign off, I would like to put the healing blessing that I use for the Akashic, because I think I also want us to know that this is part of what we are voiding from ourselves, the ancestral DNA, the past lives that we've had that have been in a punishment range, and we are headed towards the future. And we are going to be a whole new physical structure as we do this.
Right.
So Buddha says, you do not take a breath, you receive it. So let's receive 3 breaths, hold them at the top, and exhale through parted lips. Please place us in a steady stream of divine white light, the divine white light of divine guidance and divine grace. Michael, wrap your blue bubble of protection around us that shrinks to fit as we step into the healing teal green orb of Raphael that floats and shares and spreads and transfers. The divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and divine grace, so mote it be. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme Om.
So it is. That is
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, let it all go. Have a beautiful week ahead, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you
Make it
on
Very
Tuesday.
much.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for
Yeah.
it. Or today.
That's right. Thank you all.
Bye.
Well, yeah.